Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. There are two ways to be fooled. One is to believe what isn't true, the other is to refuse to believe what is true. Anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. Don't forget to love yourself. Take a chance and you may lose. Take not a chance and you have lost already. It's better to get lost in the passion than to lose the passion. The most painful state of being is remembering the future, particularly the one you'll never have. Prayer does not change God, but it changes him who prays. The most common form of despair is not being who you are. Do it or don't do it, you will regret both. To dare is to lose one's footing momentarily. Not to dare is to lose oneself. Once you label me, you negate me. The crucial thing is to find a truth which is truth for me, to find the idea for which I am willing to live and die. Leap of faith, yes, but only after reflection. The highest and most beautiful things in life are not to be heard about, nor read about, nor seen, but, if one will, are to be lived. Without risk, faith is an impossibility. For without risk there is no faith, and the greater the risk, the greater the faith. Be that self which one truly is. The function of prayer is not to influence God, but rather to change the nature of the one who prays. God creates everything out of nothing. And everything which God is to use, he first reduces to nothing. Confidence is the present tense of hope. People demand freedom of speech as a compensation for the freedom of thought which they seldom use. Face the facts of being what you are, for that is what changes what you are. The door to happiness opens outward. To love another person is to help them love God. Patience is necessary, and one cannot reap immediately where one has sown. The thing that cowardice fears most is decision. Wherever there is a crowd, there is untruth. Prayer is a silent surrendering of everything to God. To be a teacher in the right sense is to be a learner. I am not a teacher, only a fellow student. Whoever has learned to be anxious in the right way has learned the ultimate. Hope is passion for what is possible. It is not the path which is the difficulty, rather, it is the difficulty which is the path. The proud person always wants to do the right thing, the great thing. But because he wants to do it in his own strength, he is fighting not with man, but with God. Therefore do not deceive yourself. Of all deceivers fear most yourself. There is nothing with which every man is so afraid as getting to know how enormously much he is capable of doing and becoming. Life is lived forwards, but understood backwards. Love believes all things and yet is never deceived. It belongs to the imperfection of everything human that man can only attain his desire by passing through its opposite. The highest of all is not to understand the highest but to act upon it. This, then, is the ultimate paradox of thought, to want to discover something that thought itself cannot think. People settle for a level of despair they can tolerate and call it happiness. The tyrant dies and his rule is over. The martyr dies and his rule begins. If you think you understand, it isn't God. A possibility is a hint from God. One must follow it. Love does not alter the beloved, it alters itself.